Hello and welcome to an extra episode of For Wales, See Wales with me, Owen,
Hanan, Issa,
Athika, Ahmed.
Listeners, viewers, you will notice there is a slightly different lineup to the one that you're used to hearing or seeing on For Wales, See Wales. Today is, the day that this episode is dropping is International Women's Day. And for a while, I've really wanted to do an episode on female advocacy, women in public office, and what better day to do it than today? And also, what better guest to have join me on an episode than you lovely women? So for anybody who might not know of you yet, I just want to kind of get to know you a little bit more. So Hanan, kick us off. What do you do and who are you?
I just want to start off by saying, you said a different lineup. I would say a prettier lineup, no offense to the guys.
I love that. Straight out the gate. I love that. Fair enough. Look, I'm not going to contradict you. They're not here to defend themselves and they don't get a right of reply. Carry on.
So my current role is the National Poet of Wales.
Absolutely. And you've done quite a lot of advocacy work as well, haven't you?
It's kind of spilled into that, yeah. So a lot of the projects that I've worked on have ended up being about kind of big ideas as opposed to me hiding away in a room and writing a poem, which has been great because It means I get to connect with a lot more people, but through the power of poetry.
Absolutely. And Athika, what is it that you do?
I'm currently studying at university. I'm a medical student, but I've been sort of like a advocate / volunteer kind of in the health and social inequality sector, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. I sit on the Cardiff and Vale Health Youth Board. I'm an IWIL ambassador, and I'm also a Love Your Period campaign ambassador. I'm a youth mental health consultant as well.
Wow.
So we work a lot on mental health and improving services. There's other stuff, it'll come to me later.
She's booked a blessed. Superwoman. Exactly.
Superwoman.
What else? What does she not, and now a podcaster, what does she not do?
Let's see about that. I'm a bit nervous of to know what to say, but hopefully we'll be okay.
Everything goes on this podcast. You're fine. You've both come at this at quite different angles because, Hanan, you're a poet, and like you said, the advocacy is kind of spilt into your poetry spill into advocacy in a way. I'd say that way around. Whereas Athika, yours is quite intentional. You've chosen to be a volunteer. You've chosen to take on all these different roles, and I suppose Hanan, to start with you, there is an element of when you are a woman, anything you do publicly is automatically political, would you say?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially as a woman of colour as well.
Yep, absolutely. You're just constantly perceived. It seems to be that you're hyper visible. And so everything you do is kind of picked apart just that little bit more.
Absolutely, yeah. And what kind of pressure has that put on you, would you say?
Now, I think I was going to swear then.
Oh,
I forgot to ask about the policy.
We swear.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, I have no more fucks to give.
Great. Okay.
And so
Nice
I just do me.
Yeah.
But I did in the beginning. I did feel a sense of pressure about representation of Wales, Welshness, being a woman in hijab. But the thing is, there is no monolith of Welshness. There is no monolith of being a woman. There's no monolith of being a woman in hijab. And so now I'm just like, yeah, I'm me and I'm doing me. And some people will like it, some people won't. And that's none of my business.
Absolutely. We are expected, I think, to represent everybody in our, and I kind of hate this term, community, whichever, and we all three of us belong to different communities, but we're expected to represent all of them. Yeah. And it's an impossible task to get right because, like you said, you're not going to please everybody, but there is a point. And I do think it's a getting older thing as well when you go, that's not my business anymore,
Are we going to talk about the fact that I'm turning 40 this year?
Oh, please stop. But you get to a point where you just go, oh, is this what I'm going to stay up awake at night thinking about?
No.
But then sometimes it is difficult to ignore when that is brought to your door a lot. And Athika, that is something that you have unfortunately too much experience in, when people make it their business what you're getting up to. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so a lot of my work's volunteering and social advocacy is more to do with community engagement, and it's something that why I have a aspiration to become a doctor, so that I can use that to then do more work and engage with the community, because I see such really good examples of it being done within like my community in places like the Grangetown Pavilion. So that's like run by Ali Abdi. He's like an amazing guy, but like always like NHS public health like come in and do loads of stuff there, and it's like I think it's such a good space to connect with like and engage communities that often don't have that much of an access to healthcare as others do. So my work's predominantly sort of been around there, but I recently was doing some work through the youth board, which is run by Lisa Caudry, which is kind of like, I'd say she's like a second mum to me, because she's absolutely amazing. I'll explain kind of how she supported me, but through the youth board we were asked by the government to be involved in, they're doing a 10 years women's health plan. So they were trying to feed material into schools about women's health, so topics like endometriosis, pelvic health, menstruation, general just sexual well-being. So as a youth board, we were given the opportunity to help design and produce those materials. And the youth board was just incredible doing all this work. I was part of one of the interviews that they did, and they posted the article, and unfortunately it got into the wrong hands. I think it was like these American satire pages that got them, and they changed the title as well. They wrote that I was the new appointed minister, when literally it just said
Health minister.
Health minister.
Yeah.
Must have been a big, that was a big day for Lynn Morgan, and realising she'd appointed a new health minister. She's like, did I do that last night? Do you ever like wake up from a night out, you're like, what did I do last night? She's like, did I appoint a new health minister who's a student?
And I was just like, do you know what? I mean, I've been doing all of this for free. Not that I ever wanted money, but like, I was like, hey, like,
where's that paycheck?
They wanted me to be the minister so bad. I mean, I got the time. I was like, so many people were messaging me afterwards. They're like, I heard you're the health minister. And I was like, I wish.
That is such a funny thing to send you. Like, I hear you're the health minister.
And it's like, obviously, like when it was going up, I was so annoyed. And obviously they were just attacking like my image. I could tell a lot of them were like quite racially motivated, because my like there are other people involved as well who are getting interviewed, and I think I got they got backlash as well, which they should have never gotten, but I think I got a lot more. I can tell where it's coming from as well. And then obviously when people like Tommy Robinson and Katie Hopkins kind of add fuel to that fire, and it's like you don't even know like the misinformation that's being spread, and you're just jumping on the bandwagon, and like I swear they're in like their 40s, 50s, 60s, I don't know, but like I'm like I'm in my 20s, like I'm just a child, like no I'm not, but
well you are, there's a quote from this podcast which have a clipper and get a fucking life, right? Honestly, like you are there living in these people's heads rent free for just doing work, right? And for helping people. And I do appreciate this is a really difficult topic for you to discuss. So thank you all, to start with, for discussing it. And for anybody who is listening, like this is a difficult topic to go into, but they were attacking you, like you say, it was racially motivated, a lot of it, for being a woman as well, to go for your image is so
2026. We're supposed to have made so much progress with equality and the ways in which we view men and women and respect women, and you just think, where's that progress?
Where is it?
Where is that?
I was like, I remember just thinking like, if this had happened a couple of years back and I didn't have as much of a thick skin as I do now, I think I would have genuinely been like, that's my worst nightmare, to be like berated online by like 2-3 million people over something that's always been a deep insecurity of mine. And I've had health problems that I don't need to explain to anyone, or especially these like misogynistic weirdos online, like that have no time but to be focusing on me. To be honest, I was like, it feels more like fan behavior at the moment. Like they managed to find my personal Instagram, and like I had like 200, 300 messages, and it's just like most obscene things, like, and like people making AI images of me, and like at a point it's like, what can you do other than just kind of like laugh and just be like, oh, like I can't do anything else, like I can't control this, I just gotta wait until they, unfortunately, and that sounds bad, but find the next person that they're gonna pick on, you know, like how you're saying you have that kind of thing on your that responsibility where you feel like you have to speak out, because, you know, there was a lot of racism. So a lot of people kind of were telling me, aren't you gonna like do a counterpiece back, and you're not gonna stand up to the hate and the racism that you're getting, because, you know, this is on like race and stuff like that. It's not just
like it's your responsibility to fight it, right? Sometimes you're like, can I just exist? Am I allowed to just be? Like, can I not fight this one?
Honestly, it can be exhausting.
Like I had to take
every time you've got to take a stand and speak up, and it's like, yes, you know, inherently, like you said, we are political bodies in the arts. You're a political person, you know, but it's like sometimes I just say, sometimes I just want to write about my cats. Or the rain, you know, and it's like, that is also political. I'm choosing radical joy. It's radical to choose when you speak up, because then it's even more powerful.
I find that in comedy sometimes there are people who will see me and they'll be like, right, so she's going to talk about being a woman and she's going to talk about being brown, and then sometimes if I'm wearing dungarees they assume I'm a lesbian, so they're like, she's going to talk about that, and then it's like, I can't win, because if I do talk about being brown and a woman, they're like, oh, here we go, really snowflake Sally over here. And then if I don't talk about it, they're like, oh, where is it? You don't just get to talk.
That's what we booked you for.
Yeah, exactly. Don't start telling dick jokes. What are you doing? No. You know, so it's an odd one. Like, there's so much expectation on you that you can't quite get right. And like you said, people coming to you being like, are you going to do a counter argument? Are you going to... Sometimes you just need to heal and recover, right? Because what you got was some of the worst, the most horrific abuse I've ever seen. And I'm so sorry that you went through that. And I thank you so much for coming on here to talk about it, because I know you actually haven't spoken about it.
No, I haven't.
Publicly before.
Yeah, because I think it's been about a month now, I think. And at the time, it was just, you know, so many people wanted me to say, like, you know, speak out. But I was just like, you know, like I wanted things to die down a bit first. Also, just like safety reasons and stuff as well. And like... You know, it was just so much at the time. But like, I think, you know, having like people like, you know, Tommy Robinson, that's what like really exaggerated the issue a lot more than, you know, and like...
got people interested that would never have heard this story before.
And it's like this guy, like, he literally retweets what's been like, made by one of the American satire pages, and he just says my full name, my name, and like I live in Cardiff, and I'm like, what do you think this is, like a Tinder profile or something? Like, why are you like you might as well just at me at that point. Like my Twitter handle is one more letter. Like, if you're gonna do it like that, like just at me, my guy. Like, you know. And like I remember I was saying to my friend afterwards, because I was trying to, you know, like make a joke of things, because that's kind of usually what I do, like to like. Instead of actually deeping and realizing, because it took me like a week when I actually then broke down and actually kind of came to like realization that actually what actually happened, and the fact that I was ridiculed. Like I couldn't explain in any other terms other than I felt like people were like, I don't know, seeing me naked or something, like to be ridiculed like that. And I remember telling my friend, I was like, oh, you know what, maybe like this man's like flirting with me or something. Like maybe
he's obsessed with me.
Why are you obsessed with me, like, Stephen Yaxley Lennon?
Yeah, I was like, he's playing hard to get, because like he could have at me, but like I was like, oh, Molly, do you think I should like maybe private message him and be like, so what, do you want my number or what? Like, what are you saying?
I'll see you on the botanist at 7 p.m. on Friday.
I'm here for that.
I was like, oh, I don't know, you're not in the country, but like,
come on,
babe.
I
don't know, like, come, like, you know.
Well, the irony is, the guys, I will say,
like Dubai or something.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
is that what you're looking for?
Yeah,
this is the flavor you're looking for.
Hidden treasure, you know. So hidden treasure. So like, you know, I was just like a bit, you know, taken aback, and then, you know, when the videos were made about me and so many, but then there was so much like afterwards, so many nice people coming out and making videos as well, and like that really helped. And like obviously like people like Hanan as well was reaching out, and like everything that you're doing, like I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Can we talk? Well, it's out now.
Yeah,
this job is out. So you have coordinated, you're part of a team that has coordinated a collective reflective poem in response to what's happened in just like the wider scenario. So like tell us a little bit more about that because it's so exciting.
Well, yeah, I mean, you were the inspiration. You were what kind of led the charge. And so it was myself and then two other writers, Mary Ellis Dunning and Gosha Bazanka. And we were like, we can't just allow this. You know, we have to speak back to it. This was a time where we were like, yeah, we want to speak up, you know. And so, yeah, we put a call out and we asked people to submit lines of a poem and we gave them the prompt or the title, They Call Us. And what we got back, I mean, you can read the poem and just see how deeply powerful it is. Something that came across very strongly was how this experience, I mean, obviously not to the extent that you've had, but that experience of being shamed, prejudiced, discriminated, hated for being a woman, essentially, is universal. And how fucked is that, you know?
The daring to exist, for a start. And then also imagine being confident enough to believe in your own abilities and opinions.
Wow.
Imagine.
How dare you?
Yeah,
How very dare you? So, yeah, I mean, and then Mary, who is an incredible poet herself, she's kind of woven the poem from everyone's words. And then Screen Alliance Wales contacted us and said, hey, do you want to film this poem? And we were like, absolutely, yes. And then I remember I contacted you and I was like, hey, no pressure, but we'd love you to be in it. And so, you know, the poem that you can see on all the socials now is a very kind of beautiful way of showing that these words, you know, because a lot of the people in the film are behind some sort of fabric. And the idea for that came from like when people say these hateful things, they feel like they're just speaking it into the ether.
Yeah, like it doesn't exist. It's not going to reach a destination. It doesn't matter.
And so we have these moments where there's women in front of the fabric being like, yeah, I'm a person.
Yeah.
You're saying these hateful things to me.
Yeah.
I'm absorbing these things.
Yeah.
And what that does to you. And so obviously the poem is kind of like a collective cry to say like, we don't allow this. And women like Athika rise.
And you are.
I remember when Hanan told me that they were doing this, and at first I was just like, I kept on saying to her, I don't feel like I'm enough to be like
I was
all of this being done. Like
she said that to me. I was like, what do I say to this? Like,
I couldn't fathom like the kindness that because it's like almost like the flip side. Like I'd kind of, you know, dealt with the most horridness of people to like then people like writing poems and it wasn't even like I was like it's about me, but like when I read those poems, like the lines, like I genuinely I could feel like their own stories as well, like they were speaking from their own like viewpoint, their perspectives, what they'd gone through. And I felt like if anything I was glad that maybe that this had happened so that then they could like get a chance to kind of do that as well and speak out and talk about their own things, because like like I'm a woman of faith, so I always believe things happen for a reason, and you can either, like my mum and my sister, two very strong women in my life, and I always turn to them for advice, and my father as well. But I thought I'd speak about the women because
today
I love my dad.
Dad's also there.
Yeah,
we love an ally.
Yeah, I love my dad.
My
but
dad's an
like,
ally without even. He had no choice. He was out. No, he's a minority in our house.
We're like 4 women in the house, and he's just one. So, but we love him. But I remember they were like to me like, you can either take things as a lesson or a blessing. I've learned so much from what's happened. I've gotten so many opportunities from what's happened. And I just think like those people that were hating on me, they were trying to say that who am I to talk about these issues? And, you know, some people were like, oh, but she's a medical student. But my thing was, I'm a woman, period.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a
full
woman,
stop.
full stop. I'm a human being. I'm going to talk about these issues because we go through these issues.
Yeah.
I do it more for my community as well, because there's so many girls that can't speak up about these issues. And, you know, I've always wanted to be like a big sister, an ally to my community, to all communities and stuff. So like I remember my mum just saying like, don't let this stop you from doing what you're doing. And if anything, it like motivated me even more, because I remember the following week I had this event, a women's event with Muslim doctors Cymru, which amazing people. Honestly, they're some of the best people, and also like Amana Cymru, Samia, she runs it, so she's really cool. And I, myself and Molly, we facilitated a room for like the younger girls, and we spoke about everything like periods. We hosted panel with like loads of healthcare professionals. There was like a gynecologist, there was a school nurse, there's even like, I forgot what her name was or what the correct term is for her profession, but she like specializes in poo. So she spoke about poo and like period.
That's not what I thought it was doing, but I love it.
Yeah. Or like period poos and just normal poos. And she brought out the Bristol
I have
poo
questions.
chart,
Oh, I was gonna, when you said it when she bought out, I was like, no, please.
No,
don't.
not actual poo.
I would leave that event so hard. I was like, sorry, I'm out. I'm
the
done.
Bristol stool chart. It was so cool.
Wow.
And like when like these
But it is
girls,
important to talk about,
yeah,
right?
like these girls, like at first you could tell they were a bit like shy, but they opened up so much to the point where they were asking questions by themselves, just, you know, putting their hands up and stuff. And like it's events like that then it makes me so motivated to carry on doing what I'm doing. So even like it's like they were trying to, you know, these people that are hating on me or whatever, they were trying to stop me from doing what I want to do, but it actually motivated me even more, and I want to keep on doing more. And like it's just, and my parents and my sister and like my family have been really supportive as well, so that's really nice
to have that support system. And you know what I think as well, when you are a woman in a public facing space, it is so important to have those support systems. And sometimes they don't look like your family or closest friends, because as well intentioned as they are, they actually don't always understand what it is that you're, if that's not the life that they've known. They can be there for you emotionally like a parent can or like a sibling can, but they might not be able to understand what it is that you're going through. And it's like you and I, Hanan, I don't remember when we met, but I just remember we were like in this space and it was like, well, obviously we're going to be friends because you know, but you need people like that around you who you can message and go, this thing's happening, can I just have coffee or whatever it is, 100%. And who understands. And
your tribe
is so important, like your chosen family as well. Right, you know. And I think to go back to the poem, that is what is so impactful, to see all these different women talking about it, and you can feel that this, what happened to you, unfortunately, Athika, has touched so many people, because even if it wasn't to the same scale, everyone has something that they can relate and feel it. And I mean, that needs to stop. But to have a collective voice of people saying this isn't going ahead anymore, we're not having it, is really powerful.
It is. And I want to go back to, you know, what you were saying about your dad and, you know, men as allies. You know, I think that's also so important.
100%.
And I don't think we kind of give them a hard enough time. You know, I think they need to speak up more. And so like what was great is there were actually some men who submitted lines, and so like we had a man's voice and a boy's voice. They're actually my husband and my son, but they really wanted to show their support, and so their voices are in it, but there's no men's faces, because it was really important that this was a woman focused thing. And you know, so but that idea that they need to speak up more, they need to be more vocal. Like we're not going to you know, destroy the patriarchy unless we have toxic patriarchy. You know?
I mean, but this is absolutely true. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about anti-racism and how, you know, kind of what it means is that it's not enough to yourself not be racist. You've got to actively fight it where you see it. And I think it's the same with misogyny. You absolutely, as a man, there is a responsibility on you to fight it where you see it. It's weird how the majority, unfortunately, of women, I think we all know, have suffered some kind of abuse, whether it be sexual or otherwise. It's funny how the majority of men don't seem to know any abusers. It's funny how they can't think of any. It's one of you. You know?
It's even things like, you know, when you're talking about walking somewhere at night, right? And it's like a very common thing where you'll say to like a girlfriend, like, oh, just text me when you get home. And it's like, I hate that we have to do that. We do. But like sometimes I've like said that to like, you know, men in my life, and they're like, why are you doing that? And you're like, it's a whole new world.
It's like such a privilege for them to not to not have to think about that. Like I've got a tip for that, but like I don't know, I feel like this might sound a bit unhinged, but like for my
in the right
undergrad, my undergrad, I had to like go. I had to use a train, so I had to go like in town, like peak times, and then like nights where there's like a lot of drunk people and stuff. Oh, I used to get a bit scared, but then I thought, you know what? If I'm scarier than them, then life's fine. So like I used to like pretend to talk to myself and sing to myself. And you know that song where it goes, I know you belong to me, that one?
Yeah.
Like the TikTok scary one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to sing that to myself.
Wow.
Like and then when they used to
I'm
look at
using
me,
that.
I love this.
it works
Yeah.
every time because I've like there's like 4 instances I've done it, and like each one of them meant they've moved to the other side of the.
They're like, I actually can't do this.
That is genius.
This is too much of a handful. I don't know what I'm getting into.
Genius.
They're like, either like they don't want to get attacked or they don't want to get possessed. So I don't know, but it's like, I know.
That's
Not
genius.
today. Not
Yeah,
today.
they're like,
No
no,
possession
yeah.
today. But it is like, it's so, I mean, we can laugh about it because we
Yeah.
have to, right?
Yeah.
We have to laugh about these things because if you were to lay it out on the table and be like, right, these are the daily steps I take to not be kidnapped,
Yeah.
to not be abused in any online or in real life, it's just bad shit that we have to do these things. And it's ironic that a lot of things like International Women's Day, whilst they are important for women as a collective to get together and have these chats, we don't need to hear it. You know, the women, we know this, right? It's the men who need to know it.
Yeah.
And it's not, I get comments on YouTube like, Mel hates men. I love men too much, if anything. Yeah. And that's like, I don't know, actually. I hate a few.
I say I love men, but then if my mum and dad hear this, they'll be like, excuse me? Which man? Whose man? Which man is this?
Which one is this beloved? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
whose man do you love? No man. No. Tell my dad, I love my dad. Goodness
No,
me.
my dad, unfortunately, that ship has sailed for him. He knows it's too late. The light in his eyes went out a long time ago. But, you know, it's about taking them on the journey, to use, like, for want of a better phrase, and needing their help to tackle this because we
Yeah.
can't fight it. You know, we need the good ones. And it's all well and good saying not all men. And I agree, not all men, but too many men.
Yeah.
Also, enough
Yeah.
men, frankly. So we need those ones who are shouting not all men to be like, great, hop on the train,
Yeah.
help us fight it.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
without them, it's an impossible task, right? And they
Yeah.
need, but I do think fragility is very real. You know, when you
Oh,
talk
for
about
sure,
things,
for sure.
you know, you
They
hear,
think you're attacking them.
yeah, and that's really silencing, isn't it?
It's frustrating because firstly, not everything's about you. You know? it's just not. But like that is a them problem, you know, like again, don't center yourself. You know, I'm trying to tell you about a systemic problem.
Yeah.
The way that our society is structured. I mean, even I know this is like a niche deep dive, but like if you look into like town planning and the way that a city is designed, it is designed for male bodies. The BMI system, it is designed for white
You know,
male
like
bodies.
Car.
So much ergonomically for a man's body. And so like the health system, like we're talking about,
Yeah.
you know, like we've just published a book now. Sorry, I'm doing a plug now.
Please go for it, please. I was like, Will Hayward here. Go for it. There's a book to plug. Go for it.
A poetry anthology called Chronic Women. And each of the poets in it is a woman that lives with a long-standing health condition or disability. And, you know, you think, oh, you must have really like tried to, you know, corral these different and, you know, look for these women. Literally the list we came up with was in minutes. Because you just think about, you know, chronic illness is so widespread. And yet, unfortunately, what is also widespread is the gaslighting that women face when they go into healthcare settings and they're like, hey, I've got this problem. And that's why I just think what you do is amazing. Like, regardless of what community you're doing it for, who you're doing it for, like people, there's information that people are not getting and they need to know.
Yeah.
So you are a superwoman.
And
I
that's why
was
you're winding up the people who don't want progress.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really difficult when you're receiving abuse to feel like this is worth doing. But I think there has to be a point where you would look at the people who you are infuriating and realizing if they're infuriated, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
You know?
So I was just looking at them and like, I remember my sister, she was like, oh, you know, is this random person? She's like, oh, well, what are they doing for Wales then? Like, what are they doing for Cardiff? What are they doing for like public health or anything like that? Like, you know, and I've got a very like,
They they buy Welsh cakes. Excuse me.
There we go. There we done. Welsh
They watch a rugby match.
Yeah, completely.
Buying the economy, clearly, but like, it's like, what are you doing, my guy? You're sitting down doing nothing, like, and it's like, oh, it's easy for you to attack me, attack the way I look, attack the, you know, like my weight, my whatever. Like, apparently, I have all the pies of Wales in my cheeks or something, and I was like, it's easy for you to say that because you're just a shallow person. If I was to go at their level, I could like literally go for their character and everything, but you can't go for my character because me and you aren't on the same level. And that's what my sister was trying to explain to me, and I was like, wow, she actually makes sense for once. Oh my god,
she made a good point, right?
I'm just gonna be like, oh my days, she's gonna fight me, but like, I remember getting infuriated at first. Then I was like, nah, because these people are so silly-minded people that clearly have nothing else to do.
Yeah, nobody happy is doing this.
No, exactly.
Let's just remember that as well. Nobody's having a good day or a good life is sharing this hate.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think it's really important to consider that it can have a really silencing impact, right?
Yeah.
And like when we were organising for you guys to come on the pod, one of the conversations we had was whether or not we were going to do this in Vision, right? And to start with, it absolutely broke my heart that was even a conversation that needed to be had because of these awful fucking people, right? And people's safety, your safety as guests, you know, we had to consider whether or not we were going to show you on camera, whether it was something that felt safe for you to do. And I'm so grateful that you decided, fuck it, we're doing it. Yeah. Like, they don't get to win, you know?
This is her. I mean, when she turned up for the filming, she had like a green dress on. Do you mind if I?
Yeah, go for it.
She had a green dress on.
For the poem, this is.
Yeah. Because she's in it and you can see right at the end she smiles. Is my favourite part when you're smiling at the end. But she's got this green dress on, and she told me that was the dress that she wore in the original interview that went viral. And it was almost like she wanted to create a new memory of that dress.
Yeah.
And so that's why she wore it for the filming. And I was just like, who thinks to do that? Like, you are so resilient. And like, you know, you're saying about having a support system and laughing and that, but I don't want to diminish just how fucking strong you are.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely, to have done that. And
at your age as well.
Yeah, not to be patronising.
Not to be an old lady.
Yes, too, over here like my pocket. But you are so young to take so much of this on your shoulders and decide that this is your work at the moment, this is what you're going to be doing, and then getting the hate and then going, no, I'm not having that. Amazing. Emotionally takes a lot. And I think it's really important as well to protect ourselves, like emotionally and in terms of energy, to just go, I am fighting a lot. Some weeks you just need to be you, right? And whether that looks like bed rotting on the sofa, binging, whatever it is, you know.
Singles Inferno.
Yeah, love that. Absolutely. You know, whatever it looks like, it is really important to actually take that time, because otherwise you burn out and you think, oh, I'm fighting all these battles myself. And sometimes somebody else can fight them. And that's the whole point of having a group, right?
I think also it's like, because I do a lot of youth kind of advocacy as well, and like as young people, when we're in spaces where we're trying to volunteer, mind you, we're not getting paid, but we're also adults, so we've got like things like bills and things to pay, and we're trying to do good. Like no one's there, like, you know, like myself, Molly, you know, in the youth board, but we're also on other boards as well. Like my friend Molly, she runs a whole campaign and she does so many things, and it's like we're not getting paid for these stuff. No. We're doing it because we care, because like, and what we're doing, it's not going to affect us now, like in the schools. We're doing it because we want the ones that are coming after us, for them to get better treatment and to have all these opportunities and better access to healthcare and stuff like that. And then, you know, when you do get that backlash, or when you're not listened to because we're young or we're women, or, you know, like in the spaces where we are trying to volunteer, we feel like we're kind of being tick boxed or something like that. It is quite diminishing. There are times when like we'll speak on call and we'll be like, not is it worth it, but we're like, like, come on, like they don't take us seriously, or we're doing all of this, and like it feels like sometimes it's, you know, when that did happen, it felt like a slap in my face, because then like I felt like all my like 7-8 years of work, like if you search my name now, it's all of that comes up. And I remember saying to Molly and my sister, I was like, I feel like my work's just been tainted. everything that I've done has been tainted because now it's all this. And I've never wanted to be in the public eye. I never wanted to be like a big, whatever media influencer advocate. And I still don't think I am, and I want to be. But, now that I'm kind of in that position, like where maybe I do have a bit of like, not publicity, but I want to use it for the right reasons. And I've got loads of people that I see doing it, like Hanan, and I want to do it in that way where it's like very respectful and very like meaningful.
Yeah.
And like yourself as well. So it's like, when Hanan told me about this, I was like, I've listened to your podcasts before, and obviously Molly had nothing but good things to say about you. So I was just like, I think this is the right.
No, it doesn't know me very well, clearly. Doesn't know me very well.
Like, I was like, this seems like the right place to talk about stuff like that.
Well, this is the thing. And, I will say, I know I'm biased, but our 4 Wales, C Wales family community, they're wonderful. They're very, very nice people out there. And I know, and that's why I was so keen to do this episode because, we've had female politicians on in the past. I thought Leanne Wood's episode was actually quite a powerful one because, she's like left politics and is talking about kind of the other work that she's done since and her time as leader and, some very valid criticisms of her as leader, but some that was just completely based on her being a woman. Nothing to do with her actual ability or her job, And that's why I really wanted to, talk to you guys today because you're so, like, you didn't intend to be in the public eye, like you said, but you've been thrust into it. And now you're like, let me use this the proper way. But there are women who, in the Senedd elections now will be standing for office to be MSs. And I fear for them sometimes, because I look at that, I thought, I've worked in that world. I've worked for an MP and no free in the world could put me back in that position, right? Because my genuine opinion is that for women it isn't safe. I don't think it is. And like, Hanan, would you ever be tempted? We will never hold you to this, but is that like the kind of line of work that you could see yourself going into, or would the dangers be too much?
No, I think I speak my mind too much. I mean, literature whales sometimes have heart attacks when I'm,
Can I go back to the cat and please?
Get back in your room.
PR training.
No, I'm not built for the world of politics.
That upsets me so much because I feel like it's people like you that need to be in those spaces. So you say you talk too much, but you talk about the right things. Like even if you're saying, some of the things that you say, blah, 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 but actually it's the things that need to be said. There's nothing wrong with what the people already doing, the political figures. I think they're doing a brilliant job.
She says
to the microphones and
so much belief in her eyes.
They're doing a brilliant job. No, I'm not saying anything about. I mean, if it was that they could do more, it's like having people like yourself, like I said, like representation. Yeah, but like when you speak the right things and you're saying the right things and you're saying things that there's so many people that we collectively we want to say as well, and it's like. I just like, when you just look at someone, you're like, oh my God, if that person was like the prime minister or something, he's like, like it would be so, but obviously would never want to push you to that. But it feels like,
okay, my hot take is that the systems that we have are not set up for people who speak the truth.
Yeah.
Yes. I've said this before, I feel like we don't, this is nothing against the people who do stand. Absolutely. There's some great ones. But the people who would be amazing at it are never the ones who stand because they're too busy doing like the stuff that you do. How would you have ever time? How would you imagine if, well, you probably would. You just find another hour in the day, but I'll be an MS. It's fine.
Yeah, they did say I was the health minister, so clearly.
Maybe that was like your audition.
Yeah. You passed, you're health minister now. That's so funny.
Waiting for my pay.
Yeah, the people just decided. It's ridiculous though. It goes to show how quick untrue facts, news, whatever, travels when certain people say it and how dangerous that can be for women. There's certain things that will be like weaponized against them.
Yeah.
If it's true or not, we'll just fly.
Yeah.
Is there a particular female figure, and they don't have to be in Wales, or they can be, or they don't have to necessarily be a politician, but you feel is doing amazing political work, whether that be advocacy, volunteering or otherwise, who you were like, if I got to meet her, or more people just need to know about them, I mean, mine is YouTube, so I've popped out. I've popped out, I know.
Well, yeah, I think if I was to say in politics at the moment, what Hannah Spencer's doing is quite exciting. You know,
Sure, okay. New in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, garnering support for the Greens. I know it's early days, but like, she seems like she's one of us. And like, I know I just said that I don't think the system's built for people like us who speak the truth, but I feel like she's doing her best, and here's hoping.
Sure.
It gives a little bit of light, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, how about you, Athika?
I feel like there's so many young activists that I meet that I'm just like, wow, like, you know, if these like young people, like, because obviously we're going to inherit the future anyways, but like, you know, I can't wait until they get to be able to be in those positions, because my would they change the world. Like, honestly, like I've had the privilege of meeting so many and I think I've mentioned Molly like far too many times in this podcast, but Molly Fenton is like my best friend, and the incredible work that she does and like her activism is just insane. Like, to have her, I think, be like prime minister or something, like I feel like that would be my dream come true.
Molly Fenton, MS.
Yeah,
Same.
or
Yeah.
it's like, even like, I think also like for us young people to be able to tap into these spaces, you need adults that kind of give you that platform. And for me, that's always been like our mentor for the youth board, and her name's Lisa Caudry. And she's like, she is a midwife, a nurse, school nurse. She's like doing things for public health. She's honestly everything. It's wicked.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this special International Women's Day episode of 4 Wales, See Wales. It's been one of my favourite episodes. It's been a delight, and thank you for sharing some difficult things, but also taking the piss out of those fucking haters who don't deserve any more oxygen.
Yeah.
I have been Mel Owen.
Hanan, Issa.
Athika, Ahmed.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.